All right, more details leaking out on the massive reorganization underway at Citi. The corporate overhaul, referred to internally as Project Bora Bora, which potentially includes deep job cuts across the board. CNBC.com banking reporter Hugh Son is here with more on this. Hugh, welcome. Why the name Project Bora Bora? I mean, of all things, I mean, we'll get to the substance here, but I wonder about the cosmetics there.
Yeah, it's a little bit tone deaf. Honestly, I don't really know why. Maybe it's somebody's idea of a great vacation place, but clearly Citigroup employees aren't calm. They're very agitated. They're very anxious as this process unwinds because it's going to result in a lot of job cuts, Tyler.
This stock hasn't gone anywhere really for a long, long time. Is that what's driving this process?
It's not just that, Jane Fraser and three of her predecessors have struggled to really get a hold of this mess that is Citigroup. It's just that even in her tenure, which has been 2.5 years, the stock is down 37%, which is the worst performance among her peers. Expenses have climbed about 20% during that time. And that really shows you the bind that she's under. I think the story here, Tyler, is she's in a fix. And for her to get out of that situation, she's going to need to cut expenses. And the way to do that is by getting rid of bodies.
And where will those bodies come from? Are they executive bodies?
Right,
Is it across the board? Is it U.S.? Is it foreign? What?
Well, I think what's interesting here is this is one of those rare culls that's actually going to hit the senior levels worse than it hits some of the junior levels. The sources that I've spoken to have talked about job cuts in the scope of at least 10%. Now, the higher that you climb in the org chart at Citigroup, those numbers are going to look worse because Jane Fraser has been very clear about getting rid of regional heads, co-heads, people with overlapping responsibilities. And I've learned that even this month, they're going to get rid of folks with, to take a step back, Citigroup, they have a lot of people with a lot of nice titles. So chiefs of staff, chief administrative officers, these are the types of people who are going to get eliminated later this month. And the reason for that, Tyler, is clearly they've had a run of expense growth. She's talked about raising their returns to at least 11%. For her to get there, she's going to have to both grow revenue and cut expenses, and probably use her balance sheet more effectively. Now, with revenue growth a little bit blurry for next year, clearly there's the possibility of recession, the possibility of greater credit losses. You're really left with this one lever to pull, which is to cut expenses by getting rid of jobs.
And Hugh, to that point, she can pull back on headcount, but how do you grow revenue at the same time?
Well, that's kind of the conundrum she's in, Kelly. She's getting rid of a bunch of overseas units. That hasn't even really flowed in to cutting expenses at this point. That is why, if you talk to people, I haven't spoken to one investor or one analyst who actually believes they're going to make their really modest return targets and their expense targets in the next few years. There is deep skepticism about the stock. That's why it's trading at less than half of the average of U.S. peers and a third of the folks, the likes of J.P. Morgan and Morgan Stanley. Kelly.
All right, Hugh, we have to leave it there. Hugh Son, thank you for bringing this story to us.